you ever people watched? Have you ever observed human behaviour? Have you ever wondered why people behave the way they do? And have you ever been frustrated, annoyed, perplexed, angry, any of those words about the things that people do? Now, we can't change the way people behave, but isn't it interesting to watch what people do in certain situations? So let's say you go to a social event, whether it's a sporting event, a concert, a conference, a party, a place where there's lots of people. Have you noticed there's always people who react or respond very differently to exactly the same event? So the same concert, the same sporting event, the same social event, and some people love it. The positive people go, wow, that was amazing, we had a great time, these are all the reasons why we had a great time, and they talk about all the great things that happened. There's some people that are indifferent. They don't seem to care either way. They don't get excited that they were there. They don't seem upset about anything. They just kind of have a blank look on their face the whole time. They were there, but they don't make any comment. They're there, indifferent to anything that happened. Then there's people who complain about something. So they didn't like that, or that wasn't right, or I wish that was different, or my suggestion is for next time you do this differently. And then there's a group of people who complain about everything. There was nothing right. The seating was wrong, the lighting was wrong, it was too hot, it was too cold. I didn't like the event, we didn't like the singer, we didn't like the sports people, and they just complain about everything. And I really appreciate all of those people, because I'm at the end of I love everything. It doesn't matter what happens in my life, I always look for the positive. Now, that doesn't mean that my life is always positive. Crappy things happen to me too, and I go to terrible events. But there's two things about events. One is that whoever ran the event never on purpose they never wanted you to have a terrible time. Nobody ever ran a rock concert or a sporting event or a conference or a workshop and wanted you to have a terrible time. That's never happened. So there's some things that are out of your control. So the lighting might have not worked, or the microphone didn't work, or it was too hot or too cold, and there's nothing you can do about that. But it's interesting that some people turn that into a positive and other people whinge, moan and complain about it. The interesting thing about whinging and moaning and complaining though, what a waste of time. You can't change what happened. So if you are complaining about something after the event, you can't change it. And I use this as a fun example. I used to produce a 50-page gloss colour magazine every month. It was called The Results Magazine. It was a health and fitness magazine. And there would often be typos in the magazine. It was produced every 4 weeks, so we turned that thing around pretty quickly. And every month there would be one typo, 5 typos, whatever. But there would always be people that would find the typos. They didn't find the great stories or the gorgeous pictures or the great information that could help add value to their life. They would find the typos. But did you know that after you've had a magazine printed, you can't change it? You can't go and fix the typo. So what is the point of telling somebody that word is spelt wrong in the magazine when the thing's already printed and gone and out? I just think that's a whiny person. And I don't care, I just appreciate that, okay, that person's revealed themselves as a whiner. When people whinge, moan and complain about the weather, I always have a giggle. I have no control over the weather. So sometimes you run an event and it's really freezing cold, and sometimes it's raining, and sometimes it's boiling hot. I have no control over that. All I know is that is the date of the event. We're having the event that day. If it's raining, please bring an umbrella. If it's hot, either don't come to the event because it's going to be too hot for you, or be aware that you might get warm that day. If it's freezing cold, bring a blanket, wear a thermal, put on some extra clothing. It's going to be cold. But telling the event coordinator or the event creator that it's freezing cold or boiling hot, it's not going to change anything, because they can't change the weather. Now, if there's great, and I call it constructive criticism, but people are very happy to give constructive criticism. How about some creative ideas? So, Roa, you ran this great event, but I've got some really great ideas about how you could do it better next time, versus this is what you did wrong this time and I think you shouldn't have done it. There's no should have, could have, would have. They're 3 ridiculous words in the English language. We can't could have, would have, should have anything. We either did or we didn't. And if we didn't, then we learn for next time that we need to do it. Or if we did and we shouldn't have, we learn for next time that we don't do that again. And that's what I'm always about. Everything that I do in my entire life, every conversation, every contact with somebody, every email, every telephone call, every event I'm involved in, everything I do, I personally take myself through a feedback session. I call it feed forward. So Rowie, give yourself the feed forward on this, what happened. How could you have done that conversation better? Could that email have been written better? Could that telephone call have gone better? Could you have run that event better? And I'm the hardest person on myself because I give myself constructive feed forward after everything that I do. Whew. If somebody's prepared to give me feed forward, I love it and I really appreciate it. But I really appreciate the people that whine, whinge and complain to me because now I know who they are. And I don't like having those kind of people in my life. I really don't, because they don't add any value. If you really want to fix something, you give constructive feed forward. I saw that this happened. My idea is that if you want to do it better, this could be a great idea. But that's not usually how it comes, is it? It usually comes with, that was terrible, I wish you didn't do it that way, without any constructive feed forward. I'm sharing all of this with you because if you're involved with people, there's always going to be positive people. Only a small number, but there's going to be positive people. There's going to be indifferent people. They're the ones that I always think to myself, if you're having a great time, I wish you could inform your face. Because often I'll share with them or ask them at the end of the event, did you have a great time? Or share with me what you enjoyed about the event. And they say, yeah, I had a great time and these are the things I enjoyed. But their face was so indifferent. They looked bored and did look like they didn't have a good time. So maybe if you go to an event and you don't want people to think that you're bored or that you are boring, then let it show on your face. It's nice to clap and cheer. It's nice to have a smile on your face. It's nice to get involved. If you're one of those whinging, moaning, complaining people, I really appreciate you too, because it just makes my life so much happier that I don't have to live in a world like that. The people that are in the life of somebody that whinges and moans and complains has to put up with that person. And have you noticed there are some people that just whinge and moan and complain and carry on about everything, whether it's good or bad. If it's sunny, they wish it was colder. If it's cold, they wish it was hotter. They're constantly complaining and whinging and moaning. And I just love it because I don't have to live like that. So I'm sharing this because if you're involved with people, there's always going to be different kinds of people. And the world would be boring if we're all the same, wouldn't it? So rather than complaining about the whinging and moaning and complaining people, just appreciate that they're going to be there. It's not if, it's just who. So whatever event you're at, there's going to be positive people, there's going to be indifferent people, there's going to be negative people, and there's going to be really negative, whingy, moany, complaining, horrible people. And isn't that awesome? Because everybody's different and we live in a world where everybody can choose to be the kind of person that they want to be. But that's my very personal question for you. Who are you? What do you stand for? What do you believe in? What do you want your reputation to be? What do you want to be known for? And if you want to be known as a positive, optimistic, solution-finding person, then obviously you have to live your life like that. You can't be whinging and moaning and complaining and expect people to think that you're an optimistic solution finder. I love people, I love life, I love living my life, but I also love being by myself because there are times, of course, when you don't want to put up with all of that stuff. You just want to enjoy every day without people carrying on. So live your life to the max every single day and appreciate everything that happens. Could that be a good idea? Live your life to the max. Woohoo!